Hey, what is going on, guys? It's DK. Back at you with another video here today in the Monday Night Football Showdown, so between the Bills and the Patriots. Before I get into the video, if you guys are new to the channel, my name's DK. I make daily videos breaking down NBA, NFL, PGA, and esports, daily fantasy sports sites. Guys, before we get into the video, I want to thank you again for the support. Now just hit 7,000 subscribers on YouTube, so thank you guys again. I really do appreciate it. If you guys do enjoy this content, if you could leave a like button on the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and hit the notification bell so you don't upload videos you don't want to go live, that would help immensely. Also, if you guys cannot watch these videos, I do upload an Apple Podcasts. I'll have a link down below if you guys are interested in signing up for premium content. I offer that now on patreon.com. You guys can check out the different packages if you are interested. And then finally, I should probably have it up, but I want to thank Prize Picks for sponsoring the show. If you guys are not familiar with Prize Picks, it's a site where you can bet on player props. So let's see, they have a lot of the stuff posted already for Sunday night. Nothing yet for the Monday night game, but that will be posted probably later tonight. But yeah, basically the idea is you're betting on player props, right? So Derrick Henry's projection 21. Do you like the over? Do you like the under there? So yeah, if you guys are interested in signing up, you can use the DKDFS. It's DKDFS, all one word, also linked down below. But yeah, with that all out of the way, let's jump in the video. So before we talk about players and their prices for this showdown slate, let's take a look at the Vegas odds and the snap counts for each of the teams in their most recent game to kind of get a good idea of who's going to play what. So we have, again, Bills, Patriots, a 46 over under. The Bills are currently 7-point favorites. Taking a look at the running backs for the Bills, pretty even split with Singletary and Moss. That's kind of how it's been all year long. And Buffalo's a team that's kind of like Pittsburgh. They just don't run the ball a lot. They rely heavily on Josh Allen's arm. So yeah, expect about the same there for both running backs with Singletary and Moss. At wide receiver, so yeah, still no John Brown. So Gabriel Davis has been playing a majority of the game. He played 93% of the snaps. Expect about the same for him and Diggs, about 90% or so. Cole Beasley plays out of slot. I expect a little over half the game. He played 62% of the snaps at last game. And then Isaiah McKenzie actually got about a third of the game. He's a viable punt play. He's a speedster that you can throw into the player pool. Tight end for the Bills, well, it's Knox. It's Smith. Knox played 55% of the snaps. Smith played 41%. Both are okay value plays, I guess. But Buffalo's the team that they usually don't go to the tight end a ton. The Patriots, well, Damian Harris was out the last game, so it was James White and Sony Michel kind of carrying the backfield. White is obviously their third down back. Sony Michel is the early down back. Got to monitor Damian Harris' status, though. If he plays, that definitely takes Sony Michel out of play. Either way, both Harris and Michel are a little pricey on this one. At wide receiver, a little bit more clear cut here. We have Bird, we have Myers. Both should play basically the entire game. With N'Keal Harry playing about 60-ish%. He played 65% of the snaps at last game. Those three will be out there a good amount of the game. At tight end, it was Keene, it was Asiasi, but same thing was said by the Bills. Patriots don't really use their tight ends a ton. So that's really it for the Vegas odds and snap counts. Let's take a look at players and their prices. So Josh Allen at 12.6K, I think is one of the safest plays of the slate. Just has a ton of upside, and like I said, Buffalo is a team that they don't run the ball a ton. So Josh Allen's a guy that they're relying heavily on his arm. He's a guy that can get it done on the ground too. 32, 28, 33 yards in 3 of the last 4 games on the ground. So yeah, he's obviously the safest play. And a guy that you probably want to look to in a cash game setting. STEFON Diggs at 11K, I think is great play in both formats. 9, 10, 14, 13 targets. He's at over 100 yards in back-to-back games. He's their clear number 1 wide receiver. And with New England, with some question marks about Cam, that they might play Stidham, that maybe there's still a chance Stidham might start over Cam. We got to monitor that. So it's hard to feel really comfortable with the Patriots passing attack. And either way, like the passing attack has really struggled. They're more of a run-first team. So I feel like Buffalo's the team you want to get more exposure to, safer team. Diggs is in play in both formats. Sure, 11K is a little pricey, but this guy has a ton of upside. Now, Cole Beasley's at 10K, firmly in play. 11, 10 targets last 3 games. Again, Buffalo is just not really running the ball. They're throwing it a ton. Beasley out of the slot has a decently high floor. He's even had a decently high ceiling too. 31, 22 fantasy points in 2 of the last 4 games. Basically the main Buffalo passing attack looks good with Allen, with Diggs, with Beasley. We'll talk about Gabe Davis. I think it's a nice value play as well. This is the tricky part. So Cam Newton remains on track to start Monday night, But I was reading things, they might give Stidham some snaps, and if Cam struggles, if the game's out of hand, they might go to Stidham. So a little uneasy feeling here. If I knew Cam was going to play this full game, I would like him a good amount of 9K because he's a guy that can get it done on the ground. 46, 48, 38 yards on the ground 3 last 4 games. He's been struggling He's been struggling passing the ball, no doubt about it. But if I knew he's going to play a full game, I think he would be a pretty safe option. Again, Buffalo's defense is not great either, so this is kind of the question mark on the slate is what do you do with New England and their passing attack? Again, Stidham might play. I think there's an outside chance he might start because they have nothing to play for. So they said they might give him some work. We'll see. So it makes Cam Newton a little bit riskier here, even at 9K. Now, Damon Harris at 8-4 got him out of this. He's questionable. He missed the last game. He practiced limited sessions in back-to-back days. Either way, I don't have a ton of interest because this is a game Patriots are probably playing from behind, and Damon Harris has no involvement in the passing game. So unless you think New England gets off to an early lead here, I probably wouldn't look to him. And it kind of takes, if he plays, would take Sony Michel out of play for me at 7K. Either way, I'm not super excited about Michel either. Like, again, this is a game New England should be playing from behind, so the early down backs for the Patriots, I'm not overly excited about, that being Harris, that being Sony Michel. Now, Singletary and Zach Moss, they're fine plays in the mid-range. Again, it's just neither gets a ton of work, like 7 and 8 carries for Singletary last couple games. Moss has had 13 and 13, so Moss had a couple more carries. Singletary's probably still their better pass-catching back, but either way, I think they're just like, they're more secondary plays for me. Like, I would just feel much more comfortable about getting to the Buffalo passing attack than I do the running backs there with Singletary and Moss. Now, Jacoby Myers at 7-2. So what we know is him, Damiere Byrd should play a majority of the game. Last 4 games, 6, 6, 5, and 10 targets. He has probably been their most consistent receiver this year. I think he's a decent option. Depends what the Patriots do with their quarterbacks, or what they do with Cam versus Stidham. But Myers is a guy that is a decent play in the mid-range, does have upside. We've seen some big games from him. Like that game against the Jets, he had like 169 yards. He had 111 yards last game. So, Jacoby Myers is firmly in play here in the mid-range there at 7.2K. All right, so let's talk about James White now. James White is 6.2K. I think he's the guy. He's the running back I feel the best about for the Patriots. He's the cheapest of the bunch. He's their passing down running back, and this is a game they should be playing from behind. So I think if I'm going to take a shot in one of these New England Patriots running backs, it probably would be James White. Again, involved in the passing game. I'm not going to get a ton of carries on the ground, but like I said, if they do fall behind early, James White will be primarily used as their passing down back. Now again, Stidham versus Cam, what do we do here? Hopefully we get some clarity on it going into tomorrow, but it obviously makes Cam risky with the possibility that Stidham might play a bit. Dawson Knox at 5.6. He has had 4, 7, and 4 targets last couple games, but really, like throughout the year, gets like 2 or 3 targets. 5.6 feels a little pricey for me. I think he's still a viable play, but not someone I'm really prioritizing. Now, Gabe Davis at 5. For me, I would rather have Gabe Davis. He's basically out there the entire game. I think he has a little bit more upside. So for me, I would rather have Gabe Davis over Dawson Knox. The Bills D at 5.4 is a little pricey, but again, this Patriots offense has really struggled. Cam's been struggling with turnovers. I think it's an okay play. Would have wished it was a little bit cheaper, but Bills defense definitely viable on this slate. Let's see. So I mentioned Gabriel Davis, Damiere Byrd at 4K. There's not a ton of standout value on the slate, and what you know with Damiere Byrd is he'll play the majority of the game. So 2 last 4 games, he's at 8 targets. Probably not going to break the slate, but with there being very little good value, I think Damiere Byrd is definitely someone I'm looking to kind of in that price range. Now, both kickers are viable here. I guess I would probably prefer Tyler Bass just because, again, I'm more comfortable with this Buffalo offense. And he's actually had 11, 10, 8, and 12 fantasy points to the last 4 games. So he's someone I'm definitely looking to for value. I think he's a safer value play there at that price. Patriots defense 3-4, I'm probably not going to do it. N'Keal Harry also in play for value 3-2. Both him, Damiere Byrd. Now, I'd probably feel a little bit more comfortable with Byrd because he's going to play more. But Harry is still someone you can look to. Again, I expect about 60% of the snaps, maybe a little bit more if they fall behind. So with Byrd, with Harry, I like them both. I would prefer Damiere Byrd, though. Again, no John Brown, no Edelman. And then we get to the Patriots tight end. Like Dalton Keene had 2 targets last game, but they really don't look to their tight ends a ton. Nothing more than a dart throw. Tyler Kroft, don't play him. He's been a healthy scratch, inactive last couple of games, so don't look his way. Asiasi's at 1K. Again, like he had 1 target last game. The Patriots just don't really go to the tight end. So Keene, Asiasi will play. They're nothing more than dart throws. Now, Isaiah McKenzie at $800 actually does intrigue me. He played about a third of the game. That's probably what I expect again. He's a speedster. So I think you can throw him in the player pool because there's really just not a ton of great value. And of like all these guys down here, he probably has the most upside. Let's go to Lee Smith. He's at $400. He's their backup tight end. He's had exactly 1 target in the last 3 games he's played. Sure, we can throw him in the player pool, but again, you're not going to feel good about that. And yeah, that really wraps up, guys, for the breakdown. So if you guys have been enjoying the content so far, I'd really appreciate it if you have a like button on the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and hit the notification bell so you don't upload videos you don't know live. Unfortunately, we won't be doing a live stream for this one because we got NBA slate tomorrow. But yeah, thanks again. I hope you guys all have a great day, and I will see you all later.